Hello, I am the Horse Nanny. I have been a professional horse trainer for, I have to confess, 30 years. During that time, I have trained and rehabilitated countless horses of all sizes, shapes, and breeds. I have always made it my goal to figure out what job each horse is best suited to perform and done my utmost to train them for that role. Consequently, I have experience working with horses of all sorts, from top A-show hunter jumpers to friendly trail horses suited to living in a family's backyard. Recently, as I began to offer more clinics, I realized that a lot of people put up with behavior from their horses that I consider to be rude and sometimes downright dangerous. An alarming number of horse owners put up with this behavior because they think that it cannot be changed. I have seen behaviors ranging from the annoying, head-butting, refusal to lead properly, won't stand still to be mounted, to the downright dangerous, bolting, kicking, bucking, and so on. I have found that often I can change the horse's behavior quite easily and empower the owner to do the same thing by learning a few simple methods and adopting a new attitude. These changes will make both horse and owner's lives happier and way more productive. The following video is the story of my time with Poco and Alisha. I spent a total of 7 hour-long sessions with them, and as you will see, the story has a very happy ending. It starts with Alisha telling us about Poco's previous behaviors while she is sitting on him at the end of a session. So you first started having problems with him when he was just a baby?
Yes. Yep. He was 3 months old, or 3 days old when his mother died. So he was an orphan, right? And so, I mean, it progressed from there with his age, and the bigger he got,
Yeah.
he would go straight up in the air and try to strike you in the face. He didn't lead properly. He was always pulling. It was a tug of war. And he would put his nose to the wind and drag you. Didn't matter if you went over a snowbank, fell belly first, he was going to keep dragging you.
This is the session in which I decided that the moment had come to confront Poco. Until now, I had spent my time getting to know him and Alisha, figuring out what the issues were and how to address them. It became apparent quite soon that Poco did not consider his handler to be his boss. He was under the misguided conception that he could do what he liked when he liked. This is where he finds out that life doesn't work that way. Lunging is an exercise in which the handler attaches the horse to a long line and sends him around her in a circle. The horse learns to walk, trot, canter, and halt on command. It is a very useful tool for training and exercising. Alisha had taught Poco the basics, but had not been able to convince him to cooperate even when he didn't want to. I knew that Poco and I had to have a confrontation in which I would have to set limits, so I decided the best and safest place to have that confrontation would be on the lunge line in the arena, where I had the best chance of restraining him effectively. It was unlikely that he would get away from me, but if he did, the arena fences would stop him from running too far and into danger.
Yeah. Hey, you're welcome.
When I am sure that Poco has learned his lesson and that he will let me be the boss, then I feel that we're ready to go outside of the safety of the arena and explore the big wide world.
He doesn't want to go away from the barn.
Okay.
And you often find with horses that are bullies, and there's no question that he's a bully, they're actually very insecure because they've never done anything useful.
Right.
He has nothing in his experience besides saying no and running back to the barn. He has never found out that he can go away from the barn and everything's going to be okay. Right?
Right. And he's gonna.
So he becomes more and more afraid. So this is the first time that he's actually stopped and looked at the world and said, yeeks, I might have to go there. Okay?
Yep.
So I'm rewarding him for that because up until this moment, he was only concentrated on getting back to the barn. So give him is fantastic.
Good boy.
There's a world out here. Oh my God, look at all this stuff. There's
Good
cars, there's
boy.
campers, there's houses, there's rocks, there's yellow mailboxes.
Yeah. I didn't ever know there was so much out here.
That's right. He had no idea.
Good boy.
So this is our 4th day, and Alisha and Poco came up to meet me this morning. And Alisha was very happy because Poco behaved himself so well being led around. And she gave him a clip and a bath, and he's got a new halter, and he's looking very spiffy. And my prediction, dangerous to predict with horses, but my prediction is that Alisha will be able to ride him up and down the driveway today by the end of the session with no problems. So let's see if we can make that happen. With the new hookup, with the lunge line over his head and the snaffle bit, we're hoping that Alisha will have complete control of him. So far it's looking good. Seems like he learned his lesson yesterday, so out into the wide world we go.
Remember, your whip is what protects you from him jumping into you, okay? So you need to make sure that you have that whip ready so that if he does start to spook at something and run towards you, you can flick it at him and keep him away. He needs to be more respectful of you than he is of anything else. So you got a little head shake there, and you know what that might mean, right? Yep. So make sure you're really balanced back on your feet. So that's it, good. Even if you just go a couple of steps in that, like right now, walk next to him. Good, encourage him a little, that's it. Whoop. There you go, you're all right, good. Now just put him on the circle right here.
As I predicted, end of day 4, she's in the saddle, riding up and down the driveway.
So just keep your hands a little wide. Be ready. That's it, well done. Good. Now turn around slowly and stop. Now stop. And pat him. Good. Okay.
Mission accomplished. What a great day. So this morning I arrived, and Alisha said that he had been pulling her all over and not listening to her when she was trying to lead him around. A little lecture about the fact that the only person that can change his behavior when she's attached to him is her. Because I can't be here all the time. What I can do is give her some tools and teach him that he has to listen, but she has to actually change the way she interacts with him, because he's not going to change it. She has to do the changing. Unfortunately, Poco's reversion to old tricks when I left for a few days so disappointed Alisha that she decided he was too difficult for her to manage. This was a very emotional decision for her to make, and she doesn't feel that she has the will and the determination to break him properly, to train him properly. And this is not an easy thing for her to admit, as you can see, because she has raised him from a baby. However, Alisha, think about this. If you continue to keep him because you feel guilty, but you don't get to the point where you can train him because really he's more than you can manage, you're actually doing him less of a favor than if you were to admit that you can't handle him and be brave, which you're being right now, very brave, and find the appropriate home for him where he can go on and lead a useful life. To me, he's just spoiled and he knows his strength. And the minute that you, like when I had that lunging session with him where I had to win, and I did, yep, that wasn't a big deal for me. You know, to me, he could have been so much worse. And after that session, I felt that we had a horse that we could definitely work with, and that it actually wasn't even going to be that difficult. But what happened is, when I went away, then you tried him on your own, and he pushed all your buttons. Fortunately, when she had a little time to think about it, Alisha had a change of heart.
Her relationship with Poco has completely changed, as we're seeing now. When we had that discussion, when you decided that you were going to give him up, and you cried about it, and you were grieving about having to lose this horse that you'd raised from 3 months old, but you decided that it was the best thing for him and for you. You were going to do it. I think then, and then I said I didn't think that we would have any trouble finding a home for him, because I didn't think he was a particularly bad horse. You thought, you know what? If she doesn't think it's that hard and she can find a home for him, then I can do it. His whole attitude is just so relaxed with you now.
Isn't it? He's not resistant at all.
No. He's enjoying himself. And here she comes, back from her trail ride. Horse is lovely and relaxed. Yay! Good boy!
Well, isn't he great?
Yeah. You must be so happy.
Oh, I'm ecstatic. It's the best thing ever.
So come on and shine, shine like a star, shining so bright, like the star that you are. Oh, 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 shine into the future, spreading your light